Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live, and welcome to probably one of the shortest venues in the whole season. This is the Lime Rock Park circuit, the full course, 7 turns, 2.46 kilometres. Well, hello, everybody. Adam Bath here with iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. And Alex, it's going to be pretty tough for these guys out there today. We've got about 28 cars, 3 classes of competition, and not much room for manoeuvre around this circuit.
No, not at all. Three splits. Obviously, not many cars can go out there, so they limit it somewhat this week. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting race. Traffic's going to be the main thing, the main factor here. Time and pit stops can be going to be a big advantage. I always do chuckle with Lime Rock the way they say the full course because you know, really, there's not a lot of difference between that and the chicane. But you know, where's the rest of the course? Because it is so tiny.
Track has changed a bit in recent years. Some of the corners have become a bit tighter than they are in this version that we're running, but yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for these guys. We're running through the championship standings quickly going into week 8 of the season. Dustin Hickman leads the way in the Corvette prototypes, Daytona prototypes. Marco Archdiacono is in second, Jake Robson third, Gianni Vecchio in fourth, Adam Parler fifth with Syandra sixth, seventh Michaela Ritchie, eighth Gabriel Roos, 9th Carl Becker and 10th Jon Duval. Then in the German GT3s made up of the BMWs, Audis and Mercedes. I've seen some BMWs out on track. I don't know if we've got any Mercedes today, but Paul Ilbrink leading the way there. He's racing today as well. Johannes Schafranca second, Zach Thomas third, Alessandro Dalladone fourth, Roberto Schumann in fifth, Will Ammer Dorfer in sixth, Daniel Krasowski in seventh, Michael Schwecht in 8th, Alex Saunders 9th, and Mika Lurkey in 10th. And finally in the rough C specs, we have got Leonardo Corti leading the way there. Not in this split today. Second, David Barraclough. Third, Marcel Fassbender. Fourth, Frederick Spadolini. And then Daniel Buck in 5th, Antti Salmon in 6th, Jakub Jezerski in 7th, Jürgen Frank 8th, Nicholas Skiatz in 9th, and Thomas Podprocki in 10th place. And we're heading down to the grid already, Alex, for the formation lap. So we'll take you through the grid. Dustin Hickman starting on pole position, Dennis Duna starting in second. Third is Christoph Weitz, Michael Thomas fourth, Jake Robson in fifth, Michaela Ritchie sixth, Marco Archdiacono starting in 7th place. Will be good to see his progress through the field, starting a bit lower than he usually is. Ben Gregory 8th, sorry. Then Sam Fitzpatrick 9th. Then into the German GT3s, we've got Tim Bertie starting on pole position there. Zach Thomas 2nd, Paul Ilbrink in 3rd, Alex Saunders 4th, Fraser Williamson in 5th, 6th, Jason Stenny, then 7th, Wolfgang Kramer, Jorge Valls in 8th, Marcel Hyman in 9th place, and 10th, Dennis Hines. Then Kieran Peace in 11th, 12th, Johannes Schafranca. So the Audi starting quite low down there. And then into the rough C specs, David Barraclough, Jürgen Frank, Timo Escola, Jasper Goneveg, Marcel Fassbender starting in 27th place, which is 5th overall. 5th, in the rough C specs. And starting at the back in his rough, after not setting a time in qualifying, is Gianni Vecchio.
Yeah, like you said, Adam, small grid, but still going to be interesting no matter what. I couldn't imagine what 40 cars around this place would be like. I remember when I joined iRacing, or was about to join iRacing, there was a video going around of HPD and a guy running around in 5 screens, I think. He had them wrapped around him in like a U shape, and yeah, that amazed me, and I think that's kind of really what got my attention to actually try it out. I had a couple of friends talk about it before and sort of going, I was umming and ahhing a little bit, and they showed me this and I was like, alright, that looks seriously cool. But yeah, just crazy when I think back of it now. So the Proto, I can't remember what it was called back then. Might have been Proto GT back then, but it had the one day it was open setup racing, and the next day it was fixed setup racing. It was yeah, a weird little combo. Worked really well back then. I'm surprised they changed it.
It's a track, yeah, that the drivers will know well, of course, Alex. Mainly racing in the Mazda MX-5s in the rookie days.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how they can tackle it here. In much faster competition, of course. Mazda MX-5 is pretty slow compared to the Daytona prototypes, which we've got 10 of today. the 12 in the German GT3s and 6 in the rough C specs. Heading over the top of the hill here. They turn the prototypes, Alex. The speed they carry into that corner. Be surprised if you take the line wrong, you might actually get some air there.
Yeah, I think that's a distinct possibility.
See what happens then. 45-minute race, and of course we've got a mandatory pit stop as well, which always provides a lot of excitement. But it can also change the battles that we're looking at as well. So Dustin Hickman going to lead them through the final corner. The rough safety car will peel into the pit lane. And now, the green light is on. And we're racing here in the IMSA at Lime Rock Park, and it's a fantastic start by Christoph Weitz. He's already got second place up the inside into turn 1. Opportunistic driving there, Alex. He was on it right from the get-go.
Yeah, good start by those guys. Here comes the GT3s as well, all flooding through and down and into turn 1. Oh, so little room out there. And in no time as well, the C-specs are there as well. So they can't mess around and wait because they know they're going to get traffic very, very quickly. So on it straight away.
Tim Bertie in a Hello Kitty liveried BMW today. Well, hopefully he doesn't get the same look as seeing a black cat in this race. You can see the Radicals cars already there. Ilbrink and Thomas, those two had two Radicals cars, a great battle at Watkins Glen last week. Here comes Dennis Dooner then. He wants that second place back as we complete the first lap then. That is how quick the laps are around this circuit. Going to try and go around the outside here, Alex. There is a bit of grip out there, but you've really got to keep relatively close to the centre of the corner if you want to get the move done around the outside.
Yeah, I mean, you got, like you say, you got to take enough speed just to keep the nose just alongside, so that you got the inside for the left-hander. If you're going to try and go around the outside, of course, the easiest is the inside, but so easy to cover. You know, and we're all very, very used to covering that move off from the rookies.
Yeah, probably the key overtaking spot on the circuit, turn 1. Many of the corners here very fast, especially through this final corner, which is easy to get wrong, as Christoph Weitz does there. Oh, so does Jake Robson, nearly loses the car completely. And Dennis Dooner's going to get up the inside into the first corner, should have the second place here. And these guys are already 2.5 seconds behind Dustin Hickman after the completion of the second lap. Dustin Hickman, a man on a mission here.
Take a quick look at that back, as we just sort of missed it on camera. Yeah, like I say, just a little bit wide, and then that allowed Dennis just to get up the inside. So good move and away. Going on in GT3s right now.
Tell you what, in the top 2 classes so far, no position changes at all from the qualifying positions. Kieran Peace seems to be dropping down the order. Don't know what's happened to him. Was running at the back of the German GT3s anyway. Might have had an off the Aussie driver. I think he has actually. Yeah, he spun it on the exit of the first corner, so he's now down in stone dead last behind all of the roughs already. But yeah, back to what we were saying originally, Alex. The German GT3 class, the top 5, top 6 in fact so far. No position changes. Whoa! As a Daytona prototype comes back onto the track, that is Vladimir Marchevsky, who has had an off somewhere and nearly causing havoc in the German GT3s, Alex.
Yeah, well, we're seeing an example now of how easy or difficult it's going to be to get by. So even with the extra power there, just struggling a little bit now, holding up Thomas, it's fair to say. So Marchevsky needs to get a move on with it down the straight. Obviously he'll slip by, but this is what we're going to have to sort of expect, I think, you know, once the prototypes come around. So it's going to be very difficult for them to get these moves done.
The straight is just long enough for Marchevsky to use the speed advantage.
He's
but then
not committing to these moves, is he? Yeah, I think, you know, the guys there, they want him just to go past, you know, and he's really making hard work of it.
Could have it now. No, he doesn't. I thought he did, but no. Tim Bertie comes back across, and Zach Thomas is now under pressure from Paul Ilbrink whilst this is all going on. Up the inside goes the pro driver, and he has got the position. And here comes the BMW now with Fraser Williamson. He could be about to spoil the party for the Radicals guys. Zach Thomas now down to third place. Fraser Williamson has got past Alex Saunders on this lap as well. So position change is starting to happen because of this Daytona prototype struggling to get past Tim Bertie. Surely he's going to get it done this time, Alex.
Yeah, better exit that time and up and through. should now be able to pull away as well. But yeah, it's going to be extremely tricky when the traffic comes through. But yeah, look at all those BMWs out there. Clearly a BMW track.
Really checking in the rough C-Spec category for the first time today. David Barraclough leading the way there, coming across the line. Got a bit of an advantage over Jürgen Frank. Kieran Peace, who we were just mentioning earlier, he's working his way back through the field, just disposing of Timo Escola, who's in third. And then a bit of a gap back to Jasper Groeneweg, who's in fourth place. And
traffic already starting to come through the C-Specs now as well, so that's going to start to spread it apart very, very quickly. Leaders through, there's Hickman working his way past the GT3s as well, or the Kieran Peace, of course.
You can see that Dennis Duna has closed the gap in the last few laps around the circuit, down to 0.8 of a second between our race leader and Dennis Duna. It was about 2.5 seconds a few laps ago. Obviously Hickman's having to negotiate the traffic. However, Dennis Duna, Alex, unless it's been a mistake for Dustin Hickman, Duna seems to be doing a better job of it so far.
Yeah, I think the first time obviously you come up and start to lap them, then you know, Hickman's always got the issue of he's kind of waking everybody up, so he's having to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit patient for the drivers just to sort of start to check the rear mirror, and yeah, just sort of, you know, carving the way really for Duna just to come through. So I'm not surprised, but now they've negotiated the C-Specs the first time. Once they hit the GT3s, I think everybody will be a bit more on their toes, and Hickman will start to go through just as quickly.
GT3s will be interesting. Where's the nearest German GT3? Just heading through turn 1, Johannes Schafranke, so they've got a bit of time before they get to those guys. Across the line they go, 45.449 for Dustin Hickman, 45.3, slightly slower lap last time around for Dennis Duna. His fastest lap was just 4 thousandths quicker than that on his last lap. And yeah, Dennis Duna keeping Dustin Hickman under pressure here in the early stages of the race. They've already put a huge gap back to Christoph Weitz. He's just negotiated the last of the rough C-Specs. Michael Thomas has just got through as well. Jake Robson's lost a few positions, Alex, and he's got a bit of damage to the front left of his car. It seems to be something we see quite a little bit with Jake Robson in the last few weeks in the series.
Yeah, he seems to always pick up the damage, doesn't he? So not qualifying too strong, having to work his way through, causing him some headaches out there. But yeah, you're right. The top two pulled away 7 seconds clear now as well. So they got through that traffic exceptionally quick compared to the rest. Oh, Zach Thomas and Paul Ilbrink just 1/10 of a second apart. No move there. I don't expect anything too rash. There's a battle going on. Oh no, it's not. It's Dennis Hines has got some damage. He's around. What's happened to him?
Oh! He does something which I've done plenty of times now. He's put 2 wheels onto the grass on the exit. The car gets a little bit of air under the front, puts him onto the grass, and he loses control of the BMW and slams both sides of the car, the front and the rear, into the Armco barrier.
Oh. Yeah, just give it large over the hill, like you said. Got some air, and from there he's just a passenger, really. And
yeah, the car looks... I'll be amazed if he's able to continue. He looks like he has. He hasn't gone into the pits. But yeah, that's not what he wants at all. Johannes Schafranke behind him. You can just see, here come the Daytona prototypes. Dustin Hickman and Dennis Duna, both now on the scene. And Schafranke will probably get laps in the next 2 laps, you've got to say, really. But yeah, just before we saw that, Paul Ilbrink and Zach Thomas, they're now starting to lap the rough C-Specs as off goes Gianni Vecchio, started in stone dead last. Getting scared off the road a little bit there by the German GT3s. And the roughs, they're keeping Tim Bertie company, Alex. But yeah, Watkins again last week, we saw how the Radicals cars were able to run close together for most of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kieran Peace is having some issues there. He's around and stationary now, so not sure what's gone on there. And what we were missing, Adam?
Yeah, that was it. Kieran Peace was around and literally facing the German GT3. Zach Thomas and Paul Ilbrink had to take evasive action. That's not what they would have wanted at all this early stage. But yeah, minor scare for those guys. And has he gone back to the pits, I believe, Kieran Peace? No, he's got back going again. But yeah, he is in last place. 2/10 of a second now between Hickman and Duna. Once again, Duna seeming to be using the traffic to his advantage. Closed down a good second and a half whilst Dustin Hickman was lapping the roughs. Now he's closed down another 6/10 whilst they're lapping the German GT3s, Alex. They're coming up on some now. They've got Wolfgang Kramer and Jorge Valls in front of them.
Also having a quick look at the lead battle in the C-Specs as well, because Jürgen Frank is getting ever closer, back to within 4/10. Look at that gaggle behind. That must be the leaders in the GT3. Yes, it is. Oh, Bertie on the inside. He's going to hold on to this, but everyone having a little look. Thomas on his teammate, Paul Ilbrink. Nothing going there for those guys. Fraser Williamson is there. Alex Saunders as well. No, Alex very, very well. Done a fair bit of academy work with Alex in the past. Good to see him still having some fun out there.
Oh, the inside goes Tim Bertie. At least one of the advantages of that colour scheme on his BMW is that you definitely will see it approaching. As Zach Thomas and Paul Ilbrink are able to get by. Timo Scola here getting really harassed by these German GT3s. At the inside of him goes Fraser Williamson. And just in the background, Alex Saunders, as Alex was talking about just then, getting past Jasper Groeneweg. But yeah, quickly see what the gap is in the Daytona prototype lead. It's about 1/10 of a second. Hickman's having to go on a defensive here, and oh dear me, he's got roughs, he's got German GT3s. They're all in front of him now, and this is definitely going to be a key point in this battle, I think, because Dustin Hickman is going to have to try and work out how he's going to dispose of all of these guys, Alex.
Yeah, not easy at all. Doesn't want to get boxed in. This is the awkward thing that can happen. And I have to say, Dennis being very, very fair, trying to go around the outside, up the hill. Tactical driving more than anything, ensuring that you don't just get trapped somewhere. And oh, mistake! Very twitchy. Opportunity for Duna. Has a look into the final corner. We're on board, can't make it happen, but surely this time he's so close, moves to the middle. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1.
Duna around the outside of Hickman, then Hickman's going to be late on the brakes. Who's going to hold it out around the outside? Duna will try. Mansell's is second on the grid, Dennis Duna.
Using the traffic perfectly,
Brilliantly.
There you go. That's what I was on about, you don't want to get boxed in, and did it absolutely spot on for Duna there. Great move.
Couldn't have timed it any better, and Dustin Hickman's already starting to flash the lights to Dennis Duna in front. They were lapping Timo Escola in the rough C-Spec category. Dennis Duna now takes the lead. They're coming up to lap Jason Sterney now in his BMW. And then after that, there's plenty of cars to lap again. Mercedes of Alex Saunders just getting by Jürgen Frank, who is second in the rough C-Specs. Frank not too far away from David Barraclough, our leader as well. But here they come then. He wasted no time there. Oh my words! Up the inside was Dustin Hickman, and he nearly met a sorry end there. 3 wide with that BMW and the rough of Jürgen Frank, Alex.
Yeah, I think he had to. He didn't, he couldn't afford not to go for the move right now. And he's got an opportunity here. Oh, and all of a sudden, it looked like there was going to be the reverse there, but we had a box Dennis in. But all of a sudden, the gap opened up the other side of the circuit.
This is the white knuckle ride, I can tell you that after watching the opening 17 laps of competition here at Lime Rock Park. Cannot take anything for granted in this race, and once the pit stops get underway in about 10 minutes time, that will just throw another dimension into what is proving to be a very exciting race. Dennis Duna now, he's coming to lap Fraser Williamson, who is 4th and is getting held up a little bit now because Dustin Hickman is able to close in again. You really can't overtake any cars at all through this section, Alex. You've really got to wait until we go over the top of the hill.
Yeah, so they've got enough speed just to nip down here, as long as they're committed with getting the move done. Both drivers are. Hickman's got a bit of damage on the front of his car. I saw that a few laps back. Doesn't seem to be affecting him, but I tell you, when there's a little bit of clear track, Dennis really can stretch his legs and pull away a bit. So I think Hickman's going to struggle here. He's got to use that traffic really well.
Zach Thomas just getting past Paul Ilbrink there. The Radicals cars continuing their trading of positions. Saw that plenty of times at the race last week at Watkins Glen. And here come the Daytona prototypes to lap them. Going for this right-hander. Can be misleading, that corner. If you get the line just a tiny bit wrong, you can face a trip into that grass.
Did a little replay, watch, see what happened there. Ilbrink made a mistake coming out of the final corner, ran wide, just had to get out of it, and yeah, Thomas up the inside.
Then Bertie, how far is he ahead of Zach Thomas? About 0.8 of a second as Dennis Duna gets up the inside of Ilbrink there. Next up for him is going to be Thomas, which he should dispose of fairly easily going into the first corner. And up the inside he goes there as well, and he's now got a healthy advantage, Alex. He's got 2 Radicals cars between himself and Dustin Hickman.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. You know, he can start to build on that. See if he can get by another one as well. Just keep, just try and keep that traffic in between him now. Maybe he can pull away. 1.6 seconds is the lead. Looking good. Anything can happen here, though. That's the thing. Just get caught behind a gaggle, and all of a sudden that gap's going to disappear very, very quickly. Oh, what's going on in the C-Specs as well? 0.2 of a second apart. Jürgen Frank having a look at David here. Just lots of traffic around, trying to get through and past. Jürgen having to concede to that first, of course.
Oh, Jürgen's got another car at the inside there. That is close. That is Ben Gregory getting by there. That Apex Academy livery I spy there, Alex? Yeah, it is.
He is in one, yeah.
Representing the team today. Postelani goes to lap David then, the Rusty Spec leader. And the gap now between himself and Jürgen Frank is 1.9 seconds.
Very quickly it changes, doesn't it? Marcel Fassbender, 0.2 of a second behind Timo Escola here as well. Of course, Fassbender needs a good result here for his championship, sitting pretty high up. Sprint for field shouldn't be too bad, I would think, looking at this, but most of the high numbers are in this C-Spec field, so big guns aren't out.
Yeah, we've got a strength of field of 4.274 for this race today. Oh, that gets a good run there, Fassbender on the exit, but I think the corner just comes up too quickly for him to get anything done. It appears just for a brief moment. They've got Peace behind them, I believe, there, who's once again trying to work his way back through the field after spinning earlier on. And now onto the front straight they go. Fassbender third in the championship. Escola is... I don't know where he is in the championship. He's not inside the top 10 at least. But they're battling away here. Peace trying his best, and it's not getting helped with Peace blinking in and out, Alex.
No, it's the worst thing ever. When you're trying to get by and drivers are blinking. You're just so nervous about making a move. You just don't know where they're going to be, where they're going to pop back up. So, Marchevsky around. No, he's not. He's in the pits. Sorry, I just saw him dropping down the timing order and 0. So, but he's in the pits, and first person to jump.
Yeah.
See how long he's in there for.
21.
He's away. Yeah, 21.2 seconds.
Had issues early on. Marchevsky was the last of the Daytona prototypes. Too far away from Sam Fitzpatrick, and yeah, he gets underway with 27 minutes go in this race. Kieran Peace finally gets past Timo Escola after a while. And
Ricky on Jake Robson, very, very close again. Just
oh yeah,
0.3 of a second or so. Bit of traffic ahead of them. Jake's going to be okay. No issues, and actually, yeah, it doesn't get through, so can pull away.
Oh, this Mercedes boxing Michaela Ritchie in nicely for Jake Robson. Up the inside he's going to go though, and Alex Saunders takes the racing line. That is what he's supposed to do. It's up to the car, the faster car, the car that's lapping you, to take the different line. Oh, contacts! That contact, I believe, and around goes Ritchie.
Yeah, just a little nick, wasn't it? With the netcode, just forced him to, just sort of made him come into him, and yeah, the big old Mercedes finished the rest off.
Oh dear, and I don't think we can say that's him getting GT3'd, but
no, I don't think so.
That's just a clear example of the things you've got to contend with in the world of sim racing. And yeah, Michaela Ritchie now down to 9th place after that. Sam Fitzpatrick isn't too far up the road though, so he might be able to get a position back straight away, but yeah, that's not what Michaela Ritchie wanted at all there. And Alex Saunders has been able to continue on his way in 5th place.
Pretty unscathed actually as well, doesn't he? So Thomas very, very close to Bertie again. Ilbrink has dropped off just a fraction.
Yes, he has. Ilbrink about 2.5 seconds behind now. Zach Thomas. Might be down to how the traffic's played out, or it might be an error on Ilbrink's part. But yeah, it's now the battle for the lead between Tim Bertie and Zach Thomas. Last time around, Bertie was the quicker of the 2 cars, but Zach Thomas definitely looks on it on this lap. And they're coming up to lap David Barrow. It's not just David Barrow, it's Jasper Groeneweg. The BMW, the German GT3s and the rough C-specs, Alex, they don't seem to be having too much of a difference in speed and time between these two. It really is that tight on this circuit.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's just not enough room really to use it. The C-spec is pretty good. There's a bit of traffic coming here. Just looking back from Bertie's car. He wanted to go defensive. As there's a potential move. Let me change this camera because we can't see anything.
Christoph Weitz getting up the inside there, quite forceful, forcing the 2 German GT3s who are bang for the lead in that group, of course, to run slightly wide. It stays as you were though. That is Tim Bertie still ahead of Zach Thomas. Of course, the news the last few days that broke on Thursday night was the arrival of the new Porsche 911 on the iRacing service. Alex, you had a chance to go in it yet?
No, I haven't. I'm so busy. I haven't even had a chance to buy it yet. So, but you can.
That's any consolation.
Yeah, you can guarantee I will do. Oh, there's Thomas again having a little look, but can't really do anything. Single file going into turn 1. Loads of traffic now. It's just really everywhere you look, people are being overtaken, left, right, and centre with the different classes. This is what Lime Rock Park is all about. Can you imagine doing like a 6-hour around here or something like this? It would be just frantic.
It's the brilliant exaggeration of the problems of racing in traffic. And here comes Michael Thomas to lap Tim Bertie. Up the inside he goes there. Oh, this allows Zach Thomas to close in as well. Jake Robson's just been able to get by the roughs of Fassbender and Discola, who are continuing their battle, and gets a slight tap by Paul Ilbrink on the exit of the final corner. So the roughs having their work cut out a little bit.
Oh, the leader almost gets tagged there, but somehow Bertie manages to hold on to it. But they were, well, they weren't inches away. They were touching going into turn 1 there. Somehow devised that one.
Probably millimetres between them. Yeah, here comes Jake Robson to lap our leader, Tim Bertie. Higher smoke in front. Michael Thomas is off. He takes the rejoins safely there, Michael, and he does. And yeah, he's now down to 5th place. That gives Jake Robson a place.
Have a quick look at that back on replay to see exactly what happened. Bit of damage on the front of his car as well. No real traffic around him, so this looks like maybe it's a mistake on his part. Yeah, he just comes in too hot into the right-hander, going up the hill, and wasn't major, but like you say, enough to lose a place.
Well, he's losing time again whilst trying to lap the leader, Tim Bertie, in the German GT3s, and boxed in as well because there's a rough on the other side. Finally gets up the inside. The rough of Barrowclough, the rough leader, having to get out of the way. And now Michael Thomas can set his sights after Jake Robson again, who's been able to pull out quite a bit of an advantage during that period. Thomas off through the final corner in his pursuits. And that's given Tim Bertie a little bit of breathing space at last, Alex.
And not much, but but some. They're
still it's breathing space on this circuit.
yeah. Both drivers are still sort of working the traffic a little better than what Paul is at the moment. Paul's still dropping back ever so slightly. Having a look where the other battles are as well. Dennis Hines into the pits. Oh, he's got a lot of damage on that, so that might be a slightly longer stop than just than we think. 44.7 seconds for 44.8 as it says on the screen. But yeah, that car Well, I'm thinking, yeah, I think he could do with a new one.
Yeah, he'll definitely be looking through for some extra repairs. Into the pits comes Ben Gregory. Looks like a scheduled stop, and the first of the scheduled stops. 20 minutes to go in this race, and Ben Gregory, we'll see what pit stop time he gets. Was about in 5th or 6th place. He was battling with Marco Archdiacono just before he came in.
Still, the C-Spec's fairly close in class as well. 1.8 seconds separating them. That's nothing really with all of the traffic that's flying around here at the moment.
It's an 8.7 second stop for Ben Gregory. Very quick there. Not wasting time at all. Here come the leaders again. Dennis Duna, 5-second lead. He's starting to lap the rough C-Specs again there. Got past Fassbender. 3rd in the championship. Currently 3rd on the track. Got a bit of a way though to get to 2nd place. 4.5 seconds. However, Alex, one thing we noticed the last few weeks in covering the IMSA is that positions can change and the gaps can get eradicated quite quickly during the pit stops in the rough class.
Oh yeah, very much so. Seems to be like the guys can sort of do more strategy elements in the rough than they can the sort of like the GT3s and things. So yeah, we're seeing huge swings in times, 10 seconds almost. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it, see what happens out there.
Usually the rough's the last of the cars to pit, but we'll find out what happens in not too long now to wait before we start to see the pit stops. Less than 20 minutes to go then in the IMSA series here at Lime Rock Park. As I'm back with Alex Simpson, iRacing World Championship Grand Prix
Thomas
Series driver. Thomas in.
Yeah, Zach's the first one to jump. If he can get the undercut. Maybe he spotted a bit of a clean track that he's going to come out into. Dare say spotters helping him out here. Let's see exactly how quick the stop is going to be.
9, 10 seconds, 11. Revving away, and away he goes in about 12 seconds, Alex.
Yeah, looked good and looked like a good in and a good outlap as well. So yeah, let's see what that does. He does come into a little bit of clean air. Not massive amounts, probably 2 or 3 seconds there. So half a lap, maybe a lap. So if Bertie jumps straight in, which he does, instant reaction. Let's see exactly what he does with the stop. We're looking at 12.4 seconds to beat. Zach
was in the pits for 26 seconds, the whole pit lane, and now he's just getting past the rough of Groeneweg going into the final corner. Whereabouts is Bertie, Alex?
It's exactly the same stop. Bertie's away. It's going to be very, very close. Here comes
Thomas
Zach
might get
down
him.
the straight, but they're identical pit stop time as well, and they literally rejoin exactly where they are. So no change with the strategy out there. Let's see what Paul can do. Paul had a good strategy last week. I think that strategy was just not mess up the pits, wasn't it? But it got him to the lead nonetheless.
Oh, it was a disaster, wasn't it, for the other two radicals at Watkins Glen, wasn't it? Didn't they have a bit of contact going into the pit lane, and that gave them both speeding penalties?
Yeah, I do believe it was something like that.
Well, into the pits has also come Sam Fitzpatrick. We're starting to see dribs and drabs of Daytona prototypes coming into the pits. They're not all coming in at once. That's what seems to be the case anyway so far. And
Fitzpatrick in as well.
Yeah. See what time he does. 11.2 second stop for Fitzpatrick. He gets underway now.
And Heyman as well. He's in. So GT3s.
We seem to be the first of the cars to pit today. Yeah, 13 second stop for Heyman. He's going to get away now. He's going to emerge in about 10th place in the German GT3s. That's 20th overall. Dennis Duna stays out for another lap. 7.6 second lead over Dustin Hickman in second. He too stays out for another lap. Christoph Weiss has got his work cut out, to say the very least. He's trying to get past a whole load of German GT3s and some roughs as well. He gets up the inside of Wolfgang Kramer. Trying to get past Marcel Fassbender now. He try and get into the pits at the end of this lap. Interesting position there, actually. That was Fraser Williamson getting past Wolfgang Kramer, who's coming into the pit lane. Activates the speed limiter pretty early. You can see that by the flashing fog lights, you could say, on the BMW Z4.
Now Weiss stays out. He's closing up to our GT3 leaders now. So again, a little bit of breathing room for Thomas and Bertie. Of course, we have still got Paul Ilbrink and Alex Saunders out there who haven't pitted. Currently first and second in class.
Paul Ilbrink, BMW driver, and Alex Saunders driving in the Mercedes. And now Zach Thomas, we were just saying it looked like they've been finally given a break, but now here comes Christoph Weitz, the man in third place in the Daytona prototypes, to spoil their fun. And I say he comes into the pits. Right on cue. That's going to allow Jake Robson through. We'll see if Robson's able to gain any time by staying out longer than Christoph Weitz, with 15 minutes to go. Weitz had a good start as well, was able to get up to second place briefly, but before falling down down the order, and he pits now. 8.7 second stop for him. Paul Ilbrink, our German GT3 leaders in, Alex.
See what Paul does this time. Not the best camera angle, it's fair to say. Let's see if we can find a better one. There we go. 12.4 is what we're looking at. Oh, 10.8, very quick. Where are they? It's going to be close. He's only a couple of seconds back. They're coming out the final corner. This is going to be very close indeed.
I think he's got them both.
Just get it. How does he do it? Week in, week out. He nails it in the pits. Yeah, great stop. Absolutely there. On the limit on the numbers. But he will wonder how he's in second place behind Paul at the moment. But not only has he got through, but he's 1.1 second clear as well.
Dennis Duna is to the pits along with Marco Archdiacono, and I think everyone else is coming as well. Jake Robson and Michael Thomas will also win. Away goes Duna, the leader, and he gets underway now. That was an 7.1. No, it was a 9.3 second stop for Dennis Duna, which isn't the quickest so far in the Daytona prototypes, but away he goes.
Though, with the gap that he had.
Yeah, definitely. Alex Saunders is in. So he's going to relinquish the lead in the German GT3s. I think that pretty much rounds off all the stops in the German GT3s. We're still awaiting Hickman and Ritchie to come in the Daytona prototypes. Yeah,
and again, it seems like the C-specs are going to be quite late. Jürgen Frank, 2.6 seconds behind our leader at the moment. David in his number 13 car. Both on screen just there. And yeah, anything can happen between those guys. We've seen pit stop swings 4 or 5 seconds in the C-spec, so looks like a splash and dash for these guys though this time.
The gap between Dustin Hickman and Dennis Duna is 14.5 seconds. It is a 23-22 second pit lane time at Lime Rock Park. So it's obvious that once Dustin Hickman comes in, he's going to at least relinquish the lead to Dennis Duna. Hickman goes through the final corner now, and he makes the turn right into the pit lane, and also is in Michaela Ritchie. So that rounds off all the Daytona prototypes pit stops. We're running through the top 5 once though. We're running through the order in the Daytona prototypes once these guys have completed their stops. Position shouldn't change too much. Ritchie just gets underway there. He's going to emerge. Is he going to emerge behind Ben Gregory? Just ahead of the Apex Academy car. And Hickman should get second place. Yes, he does. Just ahead of Vladimir Marchevsky. So the Daytona prototype order looks like this. Then after the pit stops, Dennis Duna leading, Hickman second, Weitz third, Robson fourth, Thomas fifth, Archdiacono in sixth, Ritchie in seventh, then Ben Gregory eighth, Fitzpatrick in ninth, and Marchevsky in 10th. Also in the German GT3s, Paul Ilbrink leads. Second is still Tim Bertie. However, Zach Thomas still pursuing to try and get past. Very close, those two, in fact, heading down the back straight. They're second and third. Fourth, Fraser Williamson. Alex Saunders fifth. Sixth is Jason Sternhe. Then Marcel Heyman. Then Jorge Valls and Wolfgang Kramer and Johannes Franke running out the top 10.
Yeah, let's see what else happens on there. Nothing really going on in the C-spec, so sorry guys, we're not getting much love today.
1.7 seconds, yeah, as Alex was saying just a few moments ago, Barraclough to Frank, and then 6 seconds from Frank to Fassbender, then 1.5 seconds to Escola, and then Jasper Groneveg on his own. As into the pits comes Jürgen Frank, so we finally see the rough C-specs come in. I wonder if he'll be able to gain that 1.7 seconds somewhere on his outlap or in any of the laps after that. And he looks like the only rough to decide to come into the pits on this lap. Whereabouts is David Barraclough, our leader? He's just gone round for another lap. Fassbender as well. So Jürgen Frank, the first pit, Alex.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see what goes on there. But I'm just watching another little battle in the with the C7s at the moment. It's between Michael Thomas, who's recovering from the accident or the little half moment he had earlier on, trying to get back past Jake Robson. Those guys are 0.3 of a second apart as they start another lap. And somebody else into the pits. Who was that? That is
I think it's our
leader.
David Barraclough coming into the pits then. We'll see if Fassbender's been able to, not Fassbender, Jürgen Frank's been able to gain anything on that lap. Into the pits comes Fassbender as well. Yes, there he goes. Iscola is the one that's staying out. And where is Jürgen Frank? He's just going through the final corner now. Barraclough has a bit of a way to go down the pit lane. Where is he actually? He's just coming out of the pit lane now. And, oh, that's going to be close. Jürgen Frank, is he going to take the lead? Round the outside, contact's made. And around goes around goes Jürgen Frank. Onto the grass goes David Barraclough. And, well, for a brief moment, Alex, I think Jürgen Frank had got the lead done.
He'll be annoyed with that, very annoyed. He had the momentum, I think, going into that. He just needs to set
Oh, he's out. Yeah.
Gutted. Yeah, absolutely gutted for him as well. He had a pretty great race so far. Just sat there in second, timed the pit stop well, got it done, nailed his stop, nailed his outlap. Just take another little look at it back, I think. I want to see that. Go on board with him as well, see it from his view. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Obviously, he did turn across in his desperation to get the lead. Away goes Timo Escola, actually. He's just pitted as well, but I think Barraclough will still take the lead anyway.
Whether he thought he had the momentum, I think, round here, we'll see. There comes the car around. I think he's got every right to. He comes past him at a rate of knots there. So.
Well, late drama then in the rough C specs. Told you at the beginning of the broadcast that the pit stops will always provide this sort of action. And yeah, Jürgen Frank joins Gianni Vecchio on the sidelines. Only 2 cars out of the race today, even with the track being congested as it is. Jake Robson is side by side then with Michael Thomas going into the right-hander. They had to negotiate Alex Saunders there. With 8 minutes to go, we're back to this battle again, Alex, that we were looking at just before the roughs.
Yeah, half a second. Go on board, just watch them for a couple of laps, just working their way through this traffic as well. And do you know what, I've been surprised, there's not been much sort of multi-class collisions. Everyone's been driving pretty decent. It's just been same class incidents really in this one.
Yeah. And Dennis Dooner's about to lap these 2 battling Daytona prototypes. Robson last time around 49.096, 49.081 for Michael Thomas. Very, very tight lap times, of course, around this circuit because the track is so short, just under 2.5 kilometres. Only 7 corners for these drivers to master.
Back to this GT3 battle because Zach Thomas looks closer than he ever has been. Defensive already for Bertie, although Thomas seemed to slow down. I don't know if he thought he wasn't going to get the run, but he was closer coming out of the corner than he was halfway down the straight. So definitely a lift there for Thomas.
Might have just slightly lost the car on the exit that might have caused him to get off the throttle just a little bit. But now Thomas, yeah, right under the rear bumper of Tim Bertie, under the rear spoiler, going through the long right hander over the top of the hill. Just not long enough of a straight really to get a move done up the inside. Now through the final 2 corners, plunge downhill. Now into this long right hander, which is very difficult to get right. Can the grass and the wall on the outside can draw you wide. Across the line they go. The German GT3 starting lap 48 of their race.
Yeah, how those laps tick on by. Ilbrink just has a tiny bit in reserve, I think now. 1/10 of a second quicker that lap. Pretty clean lap without traffic for the guys there. So as long as there's not this huge rush of traffic that they've got to deal with, I think you'll be able to hold on to this. We've got 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go, so don't want to get cursing anyone a little too early.
Nick Robson about to get lapped by our race leader, and that will mean that Dennis Dune has lapped everyone up to 4th place overall, up to 3rd place I should say overall. Christoph Weitz actually isn't too far up the road as well, so you might not rule out him lapping Weitz as well inside the final 5 minutes of the race. Dune just lapping Williamson and Schafrankreichs.
Yeah, Weitz possible, I think. It's going to be a squeeze. Again, it's going to have to depend on traffic, I think, on that, because on pure lap time, he won't make it there. But that'd be some achievement, wouldn't it, to get up to 3rd? We haven't seen anyone sort of be that dominant. Hickman doing well, though, but just hasn't been able to find his way through the traffic quite as well.
We've got the inside there of Fraser Williamson, lapping him for the... well, I was about to say the 2nd time, but looks like he's lapped him many times today. Robson getting through, and now this is Thomas's opportunity out of the final corner. Going to move to the outside. This is the battle over 4th and 5th. Robson's able to hold on just for the time being. Not too many laps to go. 4.5 minutes entering the closing stages here. And yeah, Dennis Dune has got Christoph Weitz in his sights. And yeah, if the top 2 are the only ones that finished on the lead lap, that'll be some achievement for both of them. Dennis Dune leading Hickman by 14 seconds.
Maybe up the inside. Oh, he's going to turn across. But that's the closest Zach's got. Every time Bertie gets close to Paul, Paul's teammate Zach comes out with a little attack here or there and has to go a little bit defensive, and the gap just eats out to about 1.1 seconds. So, you know, he's the meat in a Radicals sandwich out there right now, and they're playing the game quite well.
Elbrink's been lapping slower than these guys the last few laps. Bertie last time around 48.6, 48.5 for Zach Thomas. So don't rule out these two, Thomas and Bertie, both squabbling for the lead with Paul Elbrink in the closing stages of the race. Just under 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. Really not long left to go now.
Here comes Duna and Weitz for the German GT3 lead and
Followed
the
by
overall leader.
2 of these, I would think, but not Paul.
Oh dear, this might not well.
That's a bit late.
Oh,
Bertie all run out wide. Opportunity for Zach.
the opportunity is waited for, but looks like Bertie will just be able to hold on. Is Thomas going to go up the inside? Bertie's able to cover him off. Good defensive driving there by the BMW of Bertie. And Thomas now all over the place trying to get by the man in 2nd place in the German GT3s. Wants to make it a Radicals 1-2, of course. And over the top of the hill they go, and Bertie just being able to do enough, Alex, to hold on. And he did get forced wide going through that final corner, but he was just able to keep that 2nd place away from Zach Thomas.
Yeah, it was good driving from him. Could have easily gone very much the other way. And Paul has the luxury of both prototypes going straight through. Oh no, not so much. Did lose a little bit of time, but not a huge amount. 1.5 seconds clear now, 2 minutes to go. What's that, about 4 laps around here? Not far off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's about just over 40 seconds for a lap, and we've got 2 minutes on the clock. That's 120. So yeah,
here comes this battle of Thomas and Robson trying to get by these guys as well now. So not as straightforward as just each car just trying to get by. Going to want to time this.
Hopefully the Daytona prototypes don't cause too much of an issue. Robson going to go to the inside for the penultimate corner and into the final corner. This is going to be a nightmare for Zach Thomas, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he lost a little time on the final corner, but I think these guys are going to hold up probably Bertie a little bit into turn 1. No, they don't. Oh, well, they give him a little nudge and they're checking up, and off goes Robson. I think, honestly, that was probably Robson's fault there. Just ran into the back of Bertie, and the concertina is what caught out Thomas. So...
oh dear. Oh, yeah, Robson. Oh, he's still there. He's going to get up the inside of Thomas. Has Thomas got issues late on. That's a bit odd. Yeah, Robson back through.
Or maybe you let him go through. Bit of
Could be.
sportsmanship out there, which is always nice to see. Right, what's going on? We've got 45 seconds left.
Where's our leader? Dennis Duna is he probably he might have one more lap after this actually. Depends how quick he takes it. It's going to be pretty close. But yeah, Dennis Duna starting what could be his final lap of the race here. And yeah, lost second place briefly as he tries to lap Marcel Fassbender. Be careful, take your time. And yeah, took second place back, negotiated the traffic a lot better than Dustin Hickman was able to do from pole position. Championship leader, of course, Hickman. And yeah, has been able to extend his lead to 14 seconds, Alex. Brilliant job so far. 10 seconds left on the clock. This should be, I believe, the final lap.
Oh, look at this as well. Thomas on the rear of Bertie again. Is it going to be the checkered flag? Oh,
I don't know.
We know white flag comes out, so we've got one more lap to go.
Will this catch anyone else in terms of fuel? Zach Thomas then, he's stuck behind a rough C-spec, and here comes Robson and Thomas down the front straight to start their final lap of the race. Thomas is going to look to the outside. Robson will cover the inside line now, and it's going to have to take something special, I think, on this final lap for Michael Thomas to get past Jake Robson here.
Yes, can't see it happening. Be honest, it's a bit of traffic out there as well to deal with. Where's our leader though? Surely he's going to be coming through any second now.
Into the penultimate corner, very close to Jorge Valls, and through the final corner he goes. He's dominated proceedings really since the end of the first 5 minutes. Dennis Duna comes through and takes the checkered flag and wins the IMSA race here at Lime Rock Park. Second will be Dustin Hickman.
Well, and
but
Paul
what about
Ilbrink
Thomas
coming
and
across
Robson?
the line as well. He takes the GT3
into the wall. It's Thomas, but he should come through and finish third anyway. Sorry, Alex.
Bit of drama. Where's what's going on here in the C-spec class, Adam?
I think it might have finished. Yeah, Barraclough looks like he's come across the line. I hope so. Anyway,
Yeah.
where's Duna?
But it just weird. The timing screen's going mad. Right, let's have a little look back at that. Sorry for not getting that. As they the winner of the C-spec comes across the line.
Oh, was it Fassbender? Let's have a look. Going for the final corner. Yes, it is. Fassbender. Oh, was he out of fuel? Can't tell, Alex. Let me have a look. Yeah, he's out of fuel. Marcel Fassbender is out of fuel, and he gets a fair whack up the rear by Zach Thomas, which is unfortunate.
Because Thomas gets smashed from behind, so he's lucky to even survive that one himself.
Yeah, that was Christoph Weitz. No, it was Dustin Hickman actually, the man who finished second place overall that gave him the shove up the rear there. And yeah, Hickman able to make it across the line, and Zach Thomas was lucky not to lose any positions there in that excursion in the final corner. Well, we're only through the finishing order then. Good race, Alex.
Yeah, fantastic race.
Really enjoyed that. Maybe they should race around some short circuits more often. Brands Hatch Indy, please. Yeah, Dennis Duna takes the win. Dustin Hickman finishing second, the pole sitter. Third for Christoph Weitz. Jake Robson finishing in fourth ahead of Michael Thomas in fifth. Marco Archdiacono, a little bit off the boil today. Usually we see him first or second, down in sixth in this race. Michaela Ritchie seventh, Ben Gregory eighth, ninth Sam Fitzpatrick, and 10th Vladimir Marchevsky. Paul Ilbrink takes the win then for Radicals in the German GT3s. A brilliant roll of the dice in terms of strategy. Tim Bertie finishing second. Zach Thomas still was able to finish in third after that late contact through the final corner. Fraser Williamson finishing in fourth place. Fifth place for Alex Saunders. Sixth Jason Sterney. Then seventh Marcel Heyman. Ninth in the German GT3s for Wolfgang Kramer. And 10th for Johannes Franke. I'm getting this right, aren't I, Alex? 11th, Dennis Hines, and 12th, Kieran P. Sorry, looking off a wrong timing screen. David Barraclough winning the Rough C-Spec category. Timo Escola finishing second. Jasper Guaneveg finishing in third. Marcel Fassbender finishing fourth in fourth place. Running out of fuel late on. Poor Jürgen Frank looked like he was going to take the win briefly for about a few seconds in the Rough C-Spec before that contact with David Barraclough. He finished 27th, 19 laps down. And Gianni Vecchio, problems early on for him. He finished in 28th place overall, 6th in the Rough C-Specs, 41 laps down. Oh, we've got drivers waiting for interviews. We'll quickly get a few of those guys in. We will start with our winner in the German GT3s today, Paul Ilbrink. That was a brilliant roll of the dice in the strategy. You were able to go from third to first during the pit stops and get the win.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I didn't really see that coming because there was a bit of a gap before the pit stops. But I don't know if something happened or if it's just like the traffic playing its role, and it's still a bit of a roll of the dice, I guess. But very happy to take the win here.
Talk us through the racing at Lime Rock Park. It's a very short circuit, and therefore you've really got to be on your toes when it comes to yourself getting lapped by the Daytona prototypes and lapping the roughs as well.
Yeah, it was a bit hectic at the beginning. I managed to pass Zach at a point as well, and we had a bit of side-by-side racing and scrubbing a bit of paint on each other's cars, I think. But other than that, it was all good. And yeah, I was just following, as I think both of them were slightly quicker, or at least I wasn't quicker than them. So yeah, from there I just tried to keep it clean, not take too many risks, and guess it paid off in the end.
We head to Road Atlanta next week then. Your thoughts of that circuit?
It's better than this one, I guess. So yeah, I haven't raced there in a while, but I had good memories from Star Mazda and HPD there, so should be fun in GT3 as well, I guess.
Hey, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, thanks to my team and Zach for doing the championship with me, and to our sponsors Steel Series, Joel Real Timing, and Esther Sim Race.
Hey,
And you guys for doing the broadcast, of course.
Thanks,
Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah, well done on the win today in the German GT3s. Paul Ilbrink, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Who should we go for? We'll go for Robson. Alex, you've got Jake Robson.
Welcome to the booth, Mr. Robson. Talk us
Thank
through that race. It looked pretty crazy out there, and yeah, at the end, just I guess the Constantina effect. Did Michael let you go back through?
Yep, first of all, crazy race. It's quite a workout around there, 50 odd laps. Regarding the contact at turn 1, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really been able to go look back at it yet, but from my perspective, Tim checked up mid-corner, but he was already wide, so I don't know if he's letting me through or not. He then pulls back in, I have to slam on the brakes, but I hit him, get a meatball because of the DP, and then Michael comes back in, so yeah, I guess that's why he let me go.
Just talk us through Lime Rock. I mean, we don't often see this type of series here. You know, it's just there's mayhem really. At one point there was cars absolutely everywhere, and I mean, just trying to commentate on it was almost impossible to keep up with everything, so can't imagine what it must be like in the cockpit.
Exactly, I guess it's why they only let the GT cars in real IMSA go around here, because in multi-class it's crazy. It's a bad idea in my opinion. It's always going to end in carnage, but yeah, every single lap traffic. I mean, did you catch what happened with Marcel in the C-Spec at the end? That's an prime example.
Yep.
Yep, crazy one.
Well, up next, Road Atlanta, back to sort of like the usual stomping grounds. Of course, the prototype going to go quite nicely there. Great circuit for that, actually, with the combo of sort of the high-speed sweeping corners and you know, the long straights and the tighty, twistier section as we finish the lap. So looking forward to that one.
Yep, Road Atlanta is probably one of my better tracks as well, so hopefully I can pick up a good result for the championship.
Awesome stuff. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast every week. Good job. All the guys at TFR always bringing the good setups, and yeah, to Michael for a good race.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Jake Robson there. Great race and doing well in the championship. Wish him all the best for Road Atlanta.
Right. We'll now speak to Fraser Williamson, who was able to get 4th place in the German GT3s today.
Yeah, minor miracles do happen, and that was definitely one of them.
Well, you nearly got 3rd. Did you see any of the action that was unfolding through the final corner?
I saw Zach's hole, but I thought that was a lap GT3 car, so I wasn't in a hurry to try to make any daft decisions. I just saw cars everywhere. I just thought running out of fuel because I thought under fuel, so I thought everyone's going to have this issue, but carnage just happened.
Well,
Talk us through your race,
yeah.
Fraser. Sorry, because we didn't actually get too much of you on screen. Just looking at the on-air timer right now. How did everything start off? And says here, well, you didn't gain any places, so it looks like it was pretty eventless race.
At the start, it was me and Alex. We went too wide for pretty much the full of the first lap. We settled it out. Managed to catch back up to Paul, Tim and Zach until C-Specs and DPs all get thrown into the mix. I was always the last car in that little train, so sometimes I was getting cut off by C-Specs as they were retaking their line and I was just all over the place. So I lost them, lost the draft of them, so I thought I had to make a outrageous pit strategy by undercutting in these GT3 cars. Didn't quite work because whilst I was in my corner I was gaining, but I got 2 C-Specs in 2 laps out that final corner, which just kills you about a second in that one lap alone.
Well, great, a great job, great result. Up next we're at Road Atlanta. Sticking with the BMW there, or are you going to be swapping up?
I'll probably not be even in GT3 next week. I might give it a try in the Daytona prototype.
Ah, cool. Well, all the best of luck for that one. As with the others, before you head off, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Just everyone at Bushrink Racing and yourself, guys. It's tough doing multi-class races no matter at Limerock Park.
Thank you very much. See you again, Fraser.
Before we go, we'll quickly grab a word then with our Rough C-Spec winner, David Barrowclough. Well done on the win today.
Thank you, Adam. It was a really, really tough race. One of the toughest races I've driven for a long time. And at the end, I was pleased that I could bring it home for the win. Slightly upset about a collision with Jürgen. I was having a great race with him. You probably saw it on the...
Yep.
Yeah, talk us through what happened. It looked like Jürgen had the momentum going into the first corner, but you were just coming out of the pits when the two of you met.
It's such a difficult one just due to the nature of the track here. The pit exit comes out just onto the apex of turn 1. The first apex of turn 1. I saw Jürgen in my mirrors. I saw his entry trajectory was slightly wide, so I figured he was giving me room, and he was. It wasn't very much room. It was probably enough. I feel like maybe took a little bit too much speed in, and just a slight tag, but that's all you need on in sim racing sometimes to cause a collision that'll put somebody else out. I was really surprised actually he couldn't carry on. It didn't feel like a hard contact, and the wheel completely off. Gutted for him because I know him well. He's a great guy. SimRC, a great team, and side by side with him quite a few times before. But it's just one of those things, unfortunately.
Road Atlanta next week then.
Yes.
I'm sure that'll be a nice refreshing change compared to the very stressful racing that we've had today at Limerock Park.
Absolutely. I mean, I was looking at my mirrors probably more than I was looking up ahead half the time, and it was just a case of, well, do I take my line? Do I let this guy through? If I let this guy through, what will happen to the guy behind? It was such a difficult race. Road Atlanta though is one of my personal favourites on the service. It's such a fantastic track, and had some amazing races in the past. And spec, of course, this being the last season, hope to go out with a bang and provide some good racing. Also points for the championship. Got some points today, so looking next week.
Very well.
Talking about hanging the car up, so we are fully expecting to see the Porsche into this taking place, which will be it'll be a shame to see the rough go, but I don't think anyone will mind too much, will they?
I mean, it's been it's been a good servant, I think, for the last few years for the service. A lot of people have really enjoyed driving it. It's been my personal favourite for almost 2 years now. So I think we need to give it a great send off. I encourage a lot of people to give it a race if they can, if they're listening. Yeah, come and drive the C-Spec because it's going to be the last few races even.
Well, well done, on the win today, and we'll hopefully see you at the next race meeting at Road Atlanta next week.
Thanks, guys.
Right, I think we'll call it a day there.
Yeah, we will.
And I can see Ben
Ben's
there. Sorry, Ben. I've got dinner to go and eat, mate. Sunday roast. Got to take priority, I'm afraid.
Oh, before we let you go tonight, then we'll quickly tell you that tonight on Apex Racing TV we have got the BSR Mazda MX-5 series. That's a Brands Hatch. That'll be getting underway at 8 o'clock on Apex Racing TV. 8:30 GMT will also be the Club 73 Touring Car Championship, which Alex will be commentating on as well with Mr. Andrew Woodhouse, who hasn't had the best of days today. Leeds United losing to a non-league side in the FA Cup. And hopefully you can join us next Sunday for the IMSA Sportscar Series at Road Atlanta, 16:45 GMT. Congratulations to our winners today, Dennis Dooner, Paul Ilbrink and David Barrowclough. And for me, Adam Bath, and iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson, it's a goodbye to you all.